Hello to all the beautiful people out there. My name is GC Iguana, and today I'm going to show you the basics of crafting within Fallout 4 in 7 minutes or less. So one of the things I've been reading about on the forums, as well as I've heard about from my friends playing the game, is that crafting is not adequately explained in Fallout 4. And I have to agree with them. There is no tutorial, and all you really get is a couple of pop-up dialog boxes with some brief instructions. And after that, you're pretty much left to your own devices to figure it out on your own. So I decided to create a short video to show you the basics on how to get started. So there are numerous towns and outposts within the game that you can craft in. Two of these you find very early in the game, and they are Red Rocket Truck Stop as well as Sanctuary. For our example today, I've chosen Sanctuary, and you should recognize it as it is our pre-war starting area within the game. So in order to start crafting, we're going to head on over to our workshop and press E. This is going to bring up a menu down on the bottom of the screen. This menu allows us to scroll through all the various objects in the game that we can build. Now, one of the objects you're going to be asked to build very early on in the game is a bed. So we can scroll over to Furniture, select it, and go to Beds. Now we're able to place a bed within the game. If you need to rotate an object, you can hold down the right mouse button in order to rotate. Another thing you may want to look at is chairs. So go ahead and select chairs, and you can scroll through your various options that you have here as well. But what I would like to build for the video today as an example is a power generator. So what we can do here is go over to the light bulb, which is for power, select it, and then select power generators. What we're going to look at is the medium generator. Now when you look at the generator here, you'll see a list of components on the right hand side that we need in order to build this item. We need screws, gears, steel, rubber, copper, and ceramics. Now if you're watching this video, you might be new to the game, and you're probably asking yourself, how do I get these items? And that is a great question, and I'm going to show you that now. So within each town or outpost, you're going to see debris or trash on the ground. And these are items that you can actually scrap, and scrapping items is how you gain the components that you need to build things. In order to scrap an item, we need to bring up our workshop menu. In order to do that, the default button when you're not at your workshop is V. Once we have the workshop menu up, we can see that we can highlight these various objects. So let's go ahead and highlight the tire and then press R to scrap. We can see here if we scrap the tire, we're going to gain 4 rubber. Let's go ahead and do that. There's also various objects that you can scrap, such as this barrel, this sign, this street lamp, this maple tree, and larger objects as well, such as this ruined house. If we go over to this ruined house and press R to scrap, we see if we decide to scrap this object, we'll gain 15 steel, 20 wood, 15 concrete, and 5 rubber. Let's go ahead and do that. In addition to gaining those components, we've also freed up a plot of land here that we can build on in the future if we choose to do so. Now, certain items you'll find are pretty common within a town or an outpost. Certain things like wood, steel, rubber, and ceramics are readily available. But some items, such as gold, silver, gears, or circuits, you may not find in your town or outpost. For those items, you're going to have to adventure out in the world or pick them up while you're questing and bring them back to one of your town or outposts and scrap them once they're there. Now that you know the basics on how to gain the components, let's go back and build our power generator. We're going to select our medium generator, find a suitable place of land, and press E to build. And there you go. You've just built a power generator. Now let's take a look at some of the other forms of crafting in the game as well. Here we have a suit of power armor. If you bring this item over to a power armor station, we can press E in order to modify it.
I'll hand it to you. This place isn't awful. It's still a hole.
Now you gain this object pretty early in the game, and if I remember right, the left arm and right legs are damaged when you get the item, but I might have that reversed. I don't remember. You'll see an option down here on the bottom, which is T for repair. When these items are damaged, you can come back and repair them. But just like placing an item that you make out in the open world, you need to have certain components on hand in order to repair these items. Now, my T to repair is grayed out because I've already repaired all these items. But another option you have is to make modifications to your power armor. Now, we're pretty early on in the game, so we don't have very many modifications available. But we do have some. Let's go ahead and go to the torso and press E to modify. We're going to go to No Material Mods, and we're going to go ahead and select the Vault-Tec paint. You'll see here, in order to do the Vault-Tec paint, we need adhesive, aluminum, and plastic. We have all these items, so we can go ahead and do this modification. We're going to go ahead and back out now, and I'll show you the modification. This modification is simply just a new paint job to the power armor. It's subtle, but you can see the paint difference by comparing it to the armor around it. So we were able to complete that modification. There are other modifications that you can make as well. You can make modifications to regular armor as well as weapons. In order to modify armor, you need to go to an armor workbench. In order to modify weapons, you need to use a weapons workbench. And as you progress throughout the game, you'll find new modifications that you can place on your weapons and your armor. And these work in a very similar fashion to the other modifications that I've shown you. You can select the modifications in the workbench, and just like the other items, you need to have the components on hand in order to make those modifications. Now that you've learned the basics of crafting, it's really up to you to just try it out and try to build some interesting things and see what you can do within the game. I hope that this video has been helpful. Please remember to thumb me up and keep having fun. Everybody have a good day.